Hey guys, welcome back, episode 3. Well, we're on the way to McClane, Texas, but we're going to jump off of the interstate here at Bristol, Oklahoma, just to watch the setting sun on some old Americana, small town, small ranches, tranquility, you know. But first, we gotta pay the rent for the use of the interstate. I'm glad it's only $4 this time. It's sad, but progress has taken away the innocence and charm of some of these small towns. The old lunch counter, it's now a McDonald's. By the way, there is one Woolworth's diner that you can still visit, Bakersfield, California. It's on the bucket list. And this is the Midwest, so you have to have the obligatory Ford dealer, right? And if you look, you can always find a Dollar General store. It's amazing how fast these things just hatch right out of the ground. Now this is a find. Diesel at $3.19 a gallon. On the interstate, just a mile or two away, it's in the $3.60 or higher range. Significant when you're buying 110 gallons at a time. It's a shame we have a near full tank. Once out of town, sadly, the road begins to show its age, getting rough as we cross Old Catfish Creek here, so we keep our speed down to about 45 and just enjoy the golden sunset washing over the fields just outside of our windows. The next morning finds us rolling westward early, still on the old road, heading to the little town of McClane, Texas, where we find some Burma Shave signs. Burma Shave was such an icon of the 30s and 40s that Alan Alda included them in the final episode of MASH.
Looks like it'll all be over before too long, huh, Captain?
Not a century too soon.
Hey, look at that. Huck was gone, now he's here. Dance till dawn, give a cheer. Burma Shave.
And just up the road, there's the Devil's Rope Museum. It's a history of barbed wire. It was closed when we arrived, so we just continued a little farther down the street to the restored, well, sort of restored 1929 Phillips gas station. An interesting fact about McClane, Texas. The land for the town was donated by Alfred Roe, an English rancher, presumably of means. Mr. Roe met his fate on the Titanic in 1912. I'm not sure, but this style of gas pump was called a Wayne's pump, and it appeared in the 1940s and 50s. My guess is this station would have used the old American Oil visible gas pump, those pumps with the glass cylinders on top. Those were still hand-cranked in 1929, I think. To be honest, I can't remember what Jill was trying to express here, but I do remember laughing, so here it is, whatever it was. And then there's this old truck. I believe it's a 1946 Ford, or at least I think so. The giveaway being the park lights in the fender and the straight-up front grille. If I'm wrong, just shoot me an email or drop me a comment. These trucks of this era, they all look a lot alike. But back to Jill's She-Ra, or maybe Harley Quinn imitation. I don't know which. In a way, I was disappointed. If you look closely, you'll see the doors and the windows are painted to sort of look real. My guess, a few too many broken windows or curious people. I guess I wouldn't put old antique gas pumps out front either. Way too valuable. This was just an okay stop. It's too bad the Devil's Rope Museum was closed. Did you ever own a hula hoop by chance? You know, of the 1950s craze? Phillips' 66 Chemical Division developed a plastic they called Marlax, which was used in the first plastic hula hoops. But in reality, the hoop and its use are more than 2,000 years old. This part of I-40, wow, man, it just seems to go on for hours through some very long, flat, dry, and desolate parts of Texas. These hard-working windmills, they outnumber the cows here. That's all you see. Guess there's a lot of hungry Teslas to feed. The typical windmill here, including the blade, is about 380 feet tall. Think about that. That's almost 80 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. Finally, we cleared the Texas Panhandle, and about 20 miles or so into New Mexico, we get back on the Mother Road again, this time at a ghost town called Cuervo, just to see what's there. And, well, it didn't take long, let me tell you. I can just imagine, though, loaded up in an old 1915 Ford, traveling down Route 66, nothing ahead, nothing behind except highway, maybe a friendly tumbleweed or two. This section of road has been chip sealed and not in so bad of a shape that we can't make decent time, even though we did stop right in the middle of the road just to check out some of the neat plants on the roadside, like this Cholla cactus. I don't know which type it is, and this soapberry tree. Jill tried to hang on to a tumbleweed on the side of the road. I don't know who won this round, but in reality there was no wind. Anyway, we both liked to watch them crossing the road. We got a kick out of it, except in the 75-mile-an-hour winds near Grant. We'll tell you more about that later. As we reach Santa Rosa and the Pecos River, it's getting late, and somehow we get sidetracked onto Highway 84, the Mesa Land's Scenic Byway it's called. I will say it was pretty in the evening sun, but really? There's only one real scene for about 20 miles or so. Back in Santa Rosa, we find the road to the Blue Hole finally. Basically, Blue Hole is an exposed sinkhole, 60 feet across at the top, and expands out to about 130 feet at the bottom. The depth is 81 feet, and the water stays about 61 degrees year-round, Fahrenheit. And currently there is one known full-time resident of the springs. It's a calico goldfish that lives there. The hole is popular with divers, but sadly, in 1976, 2 university students strayed out of their open water class and entered the underground caverns and drowned. Actually, this area is limestone, and there are a lot of lakes in this area, all joined by this system of underground caves and streams that is known to connect at least 7 lakes. Nobody knows, though, just how big this entire system is. The water here is remarkably clear, almost like the Florida Keys, but it is way too cold for us to sample today. Maybe we'll come back in the summertime and check it out. But for now, it's time to find a campsite for the night. Next stop will be Meteor Crater and Diablo Canyon. See you there. Until next time, be safe.